Open. It's being done in the light of day. We're not doing it at the 11th hour here or as we're on our way up to the Capitol to see the next president being sworn in. And I might add, I don't think there's any doubt who's actually signing these pardons.
You're not running again, Trump. Just give a pardon to everybody. You know, I kind of think the NBA YoungBoy and Larry Hoover was strategic to get black people vote because NBA YoungBoy is major. And so who is NBA YoungBoy going to thank? He's going to thank Trump. So all the black ignorants that follow NBA YoungBoy are going to be like, oh, Trump, man, Trump pardon NBA YoungBoy. People been saying free Larry Hoover for 100 years now. Every rapper that I have ever heard of been saying free Larry Hoover. So now all the rap community and all Jay-Z and everybody else that got songs out here saying free Larry Hoover, who freed Larry Hoover? None of your Democrat people.
All right, so welcome to the channel, of course. Again, just giving you another welcome. We're going to be reacting to a CNN clip here from Mr. Officer Tatum, who's a really cool cat, and I really enjoy him, like what he's doing with his channel. So there's a thing here by NBA YoungBoy. We're going to skip that. We're going to go right to CNN because that's what we want to hear about. And you know, it's interesting to say the least. Listen, Trump pardoned the Christians. Let's get to it. Let's not waste any time.
Maybe he got a better take on it. Roll the clip.
I agree. It's being done out in the open. It's being done in the light of day. We're not doing it at the 11th hour here or as we're on our way up to the Capitol to see the next president being sworn in. And I might add, I don't think there's any doubt who's actually signing these pardons. You know, at the end of Biden's term, we had thousands of people that were pardoned or offered some kind of clemency for drug offenses. I have my doubts about whether Joe Biden signed all of those. And there's obviously, because of the new books that are out, clear reporting here that there was something of a Politburo running the White House at the end of the Biden administration when many of the most controversial pardons were issued. So in this case, Donald Trump, I think, is fully owning all of these decisions. And I agree with Ellie. In the Grimm case, if for no other reason than this paralysis that he suffered and the fact that he paid his debt, I think it's a defensible decision.
And in fact...
All right. So I heard Scott Jennings give that take. The Grimm case...
Listen, well, he starts out. Yeah, I don't know, but the fact of the matter is, on the Grizzlies, it just doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense. Listen, these people, they evaded paying taxes. I cannot agree with these pardons. A lot of these pardons don't make any sense. Some accused of murder, some accused of not paying their taxes multiple times. Not just the Grizzlies, but other people. You know, congressmen paying sheriff, kind of laundering money, doing all this stuff. Like, you know, and listen, and I may not know the full truth, and I'm speaking on ignorance, and please educate me in the chat, because that's what this channel is about. I'm just a U.S. veteran having my opinion uncensored out there. But these pardons, and listen, I voted for Trump. I think he was the best candidate out of him and Biden or Kamala or both of them together. And so I'm happy with my vote, but I'm not happy with his pardons. If you ask my opinion, they kind of seem unnecessary, and they bring heat to him that he doesn't need. He's already going to have the left-wing media coming at him for no reason. So I just don't. I don't know. I'm a little bit. I don't know how I feel about these pardons. I don't agree with them.
Underreporting restaurant income. Now, see, stuff like that can be just out to get you, right? I mean, but $30 million of fraud in your on your taxes.
Come on.
That's a lot, bro. That's a lot of money, bro. I don't think the government out to get you when you were found guilty of doing that. What it makes me feel like is that somebody know somebody that said, you're not running again, Trump. Just give a pardon to everybody. You know, I kind of think the NBA YoungBoy and Larry Hoover was strategic to get black people vote because NBA YoungBoy is major. And so who is NBA YoungBoy going to thank? He's going to thank Trump. So all the black ignorants that follow NBA YoungBoy are going to be like, oh, Trump, man, Trump pardon NBA YoungBoy. People been saying free Larry Hoover for 100 years now. Every rapper that I have ever heard of been saying free Larry Hoover. So now all the rap community and all Jay-Z and everybody else that got songs out here saying free Larry Hoover, who freed Larry Hoover? None of your Democrat people. So I think Trump strategically did the Larry Hoover thing.
I mean, a long time. He served
not
a lot
allow
of
the
years.
executive to pardon anybody. If you are a criminal and you go to jail, it's because you broke the law. Now, if you don't like the fact that people can pick
There's
one
never
or
been
the other,
wrongfully
you
convicted
can't
people.
tell me
Right,
that you can decide one criminal is better than another in a pardon, or that their crime is not as deep as another.
But it's just
I say remove the ability for an executive to pardon anybody, and we don't have to talk about this anymore. Just don't break the law. It's that simple.
But it's
Don't
not
be-
that.
Listen, I do agree with Kevin O'Leary for the most. I think he's being too literal. But the fact of the matter is, the vast majority of people that go to prison are guilty. So let's not lie. Let's not say that the vast majority of people are going to jail and they're innocent. They're not. The vast majority are criminals. And let me tell you something. These rich people that don't pay their taxes, listen, they better pay up and they better go to prison if they need to. It is what it is. It is what it is. Why do they need to be pardoned? For what? That's why I don't agree. And I didn't agree with Biden pardoning his son and everybody else that he pardoned. But I'm not going to agree with Trump doing the same thing because it makes no sense. A pardon shouldn't just be because at this point, what the president is doing is, I'm the king of the United States of America. I do whatever the hell I want. And I don't think that's a good look. I don't think that's a good thing for America. We don't have kings here. We have presidents. And
As simple. It is not as simple as if you don't want to go to jail, don't break the law. There are millions of black people in this country who have been ensnared by a very punishing criminal justice system where they have been wrongfully convicted or unfairly sentenced in this country.
All of them? Every one of them?
No, obviously not everyone.
Exactly. That's the point. All of them? No, the vast majority of them don't have the problem. The vast majority of people in prison have committed the crime. 90% of them. Let's not lie, man. Let's stop with this narrative that everybody's against us. We can't move on because people always have this victim mentality, man. It's boring.
Been people who have been sentenced to crimes that they did not commit or they were unfairly sentenced. That is why we have the First Step Act. But the reason we have the First Step Act is because there needs to be a second step. The First Step Act mainly focuses on federal policy, but there are a lot of people, over 1.1 million black men remain in jail today. So this president he's not vested in some
Over 1.1 million black men stay in jail today. If they committed the crime, what are we talking about? I just don't understand it. What are we talking about? How many of those men were actually convicted, truthfully? How many of them are innocent? What's the percentage? We can't just say a number just because. It's pointless.
Equity. Don't tell me what I'm okay with because I don't want to hear what I'm saying. But why don't you listen and learn and try to understand and have some empathy for the criminal justice system that have ensnared a lot of people?
Let me ask you.
All right. Comment in the comment section. Let me know, man. Maybe you're tripping. I know that if I say anything that ain't like kissing Trump's butt, I know people get mad at me. Do I got negative comments? Oh, we ain't looking at them. I just know people be doing that. They be like, Trump, you turned on Trump. It's like, no, these pardons are kind of weird.
Yeah, I agree with 100%.
Don't like the way it looked. Because I think the Democrats did far worse, but still, I mean, we shouldn't be doing like them. Let's go to the clip of
What's this?
Todd and Julie.
Todd Chrisley.
Were they pastors? Like that, maybe.
What are you trying to get me to do?
Fill that muscle.
Oh, yeah, fill the muscle. Yeah, I'm not.
Hit nearby.
Whatever.
New York, both speak.
Pointless rhetoric. It's the daughter, listen, I don't care to hear about their story. They're irrelevant as far as I'm concerned. Listen, I don't care. These partners make no sense. That's what we're talking about.
Organization where hundreds of people were killed, hundreds of people were thousands probably using drugs, turning into zombies in the black community. Federal sentence commuted, still held on state charges. So he may not get out of prison, but what is the gesture here? Okay, Mark Brashaw, or maybe it's Brashaw, Army officer, punished for refusing COVID-19 rules.
Well, that
I could get with that one, right?
Yeah. Well, that's that's a good one.
COVID-19, that was a fraud anyway. I think that's a good one. Kevin Basden, convicted of fraud. Details not fully public. So I'm not gonna hold that against him. But I saw a couple people on here, and I'm not saying Trump won't pardon other people, but I saw a couple people on here, and I think there's more people I'd like to add. If some of these people can get off, I'd like to add a little more, if you don't mind. One being all these officers that were involved in Derek Chauvin's case with George Floyd, except Chauvin, none of them should be convicted on the federal level at all. And any of them who they pursued federal charges against should be commuted immediately or pardoned immediately. Brett Hankison from the Breonna Taylor case. I don't know if you guys know or remember who he is. I made a video about it. But Brett, after Breonna Taylor's boyfriend shot Sergeant Mattingly in the leg, it could have killed him. He almost died. He falls down in the doorway. Shots are exchanged. Brett is shooting into the house to protect the other officers that are what he believes is getting into a gunfight with somebody. No bullet hit anybody. I don't know is the drywall a victim? The bullets hit the drywall. Didn't hit Breonna. Didn't hit a neighbor. Didn't kill anybody. Didn't cause substantial property damage. He was acquitted on state level charges. And somehow they're pursuing federal charges against Brett Hankison, saying that he violated Breonna Taylor's civil rights. I didn't know that you can violate somebody's spirit because Breonna Taylor was dead. How did he violate?
Listen, man, this is not funny. The girl died, but come on, man. Yeah, I agree with that one. But the other ones, tax evasion, all of that stuff. Come on, man. You got listen. It just don't seem real. We gotta go move on from those. But anyways, I mean, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Some of this makes sense. Some of this don't make sense. At the end of the day, it's I don't know. Trump added some heat that he didn't need with certain of these, because the ones that he was mentioning about the COVID-19, the officer, being a military man. I know they make me take 20 million vaccines, but this one's weird. This is a new disease, and the people were skeptical, and they had the right to be skeptical, to be vaccinated with something that this hasn't been proven, not even tested, or some say tested, but listen, don't get me started on COVID-19. It was a deadly disease, but it could have been avoided on many levels. But so let me know what you think in the comment section down below about this one. Subscribe to the channel, of course. Hit the like button.